Hello, thanks for joining me for another couple of reviews. So it's a dual review today then, and it's from the Neon Raptor Brewing Company. Here we go. It's their Pushmi and Pullyu. Exactly the same beers, 6.8% ABV for both of them, and they are brewed with Citra, Simcoe and Mosaic hops. So there you go. Cool. There is kind of a difference apparently, but I've just gone through absolutely everything on the back of both cans, and for word it's exactly the same. They're best before the end of April of 2020, incidentally. So yeah, I've got a full 8 weeks of shelf life on these. I'm reviewing these beers on the 1st of March of 2020. So these beers have been out a fair while. I don't know when they were actually packaged. Just have a look. It doesn't really say, but there is a bit of information here. The guile is so Neon Raptor Brewing Company 0106. And this is 0105. So this was packaged slightly before the Pushmi was packaged slightly before the other one. So we're going to crack on. We'll crack open the Pullyu first. So a 6.8% New England IPA. I've got two glasses exactly the same. And yeah, so it's going to be a longer review, of course, because it's two beers, so it's going to be about 15-minute review or whatever. I purchased both of these beers at the time at the Ravensgate Arms in Ramsgate. So what we'll do, we'll pour this one out first, let it settle down, leave a little bit there. So that's one first. And the Pullyu. There we go. Again, exactly the same glass. The old former bottle shop Teku glasses. Quite a soft opening, really. Nothing crazy. I was going to do a live review of these when I first got them, but I thought, well, I've had these beers a little while now, so I'm just going to record a longer review of two beers. And that's settled on its own there. I'm getting aromas already out of both of these beers, so this is the Pushmi, or whatever you want to call it, and apart from a little bit of bubbles going on there that are going to come off, this is the Pullyu. Is it the light? This looks a little bit lighter than this one, looking at the camera, but my side they look exactly the same. Yeah, this looks slightly lighter, very slightly lighter, which is the Pushmi, the kind of light blue can. So still a bit left in this one. So that's that beer. Get the look of it. It's definitely a slightly darker look to the Pullyu, or whatever you want to call it. Can't really tell, but yeah, I can when they're next to each other. But they're very subtle. So whether it's a different kind of, there's a little bit more kind of malt or what not, I don't know. But just on appearance, yeah. So we're going to get an aroma then on the first beer, the Pushmi. Right, aroma then. Very kind of dank, a touch of like slight, almost like creamy whiff of Edam sort of cheese sort of thing, but it's not cheese, but you know what I mean, it's got that savoury edge. Yeah, real nice citrusy note. Give it a little bit of a swirl. Yeah, pale stone fruits, that sort of thing. Very bright, very juicy. With a touch of like a very kind of light white bread kind of malt. Very fluffy kind of aroma. So that's the Pushmi aroma. So the Pullyu, which is slightly darker. So let's see if there's any kind of malt difference or what I can pick up. Yeah, a touch more on the malt. More of a slight kind of slight, yeah, a very minuscule kind of biscuity kind of malt build. Not quite as juicy. Still citrusy there, of course. Not quite so much of the pale stone fruits that I was getting on the first beer, but yeah, a little bit more malt, I'd say. Smells good. So let's get back to the first beer. We'll give it a tasting. Cheers. This is the Pushmi, the bluer one of the two. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really vibrant. When the beer's had a bit of time to settle now in the can, so any of that kind of, whether or not fresh there was any kind of hop astringency, that's all, if it was there, almost definitely gone. So I'm topping up a little bit more, just leaving that little bit at the bottom of the can. Looks a great beer in a glass, a nice kind of orangey, bright colour. Yeah, bright pineapple, citrusy notes. Creamy, smooth mouthfeel. Silky smooth, very light, no hint of ABV, slightly sweet. Oh, that is a lovely beer. That is a lovely beer. Right, do I go for some water? Yeah, well, let's just try and rinse the old gob a little bit. So we don't kind of like get any other notes from that. So this is the red can. For the taste then, there's still quite a bit left in that. The Pullyu, both New England IPAs, of course. So excuse me. Yeah, definitely more malt going on the aroma. It just seems to have a bit more. It's not sweet. It's a little bit more kind of resinous. Definitely a little bit more malt, or whatever the malt is, I don't know. Biscuity, bready. I wouldn't go as far as caramel, but maybe. It's very good though. Still got that citrusy edge, not quite as vibrant, not quite that stone fruit. Same with the aroma. there is stone fruit in there, but it's not quite as vibrant, like bright. I think it's not to do with the hops, it's to do with potentially a different type of malt build, or I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say on the can. It just says exactly the same for both cans. So people are like, "Oh, how do you know what's?" I haven't got a clue. This is what I'm looking at, what I'm tasting, or sorry, what I'm looking at, the aroma and the taste. So they're both very good beers. I think it's down to personal preference, whether you like a little bit more of a backbone of the malt character, or you like it super sweet, tropical, juicy, in your face kind of beer. This isn't quite sweet. It's a little bit. I'd say there's probably a little bit more bitterness going on in the beer. The overall mouthfeel of the beer, not quite as pillowy soft as the other beer, as the Pushmi. That's the other beer. There's very little between the two. Apart from that, you still got that kind of real juicy sort of in your face sort of flavour, but one's a little bit more elevated in that regard, and this one's a little bit lower in that regard. Still very juicy, of course. Look at that. Oh, right. What we're going to do now, 1 swig of water. So we're going to do literally 1 swig of one, 1 swig of the other. Can I get any kind of difference between the beers without flushing my mouth out? Right, it's much sweeter. Even just tell after drinking water. More sweet, more juicy, vibrant, fresh, bright. Yeah. Second one. Yeah, the malt. The malt is different. They're both very, very good beers. We'll put it at that. I'm going to do the first one, the Pushmi first. I don't think there's much between them. In fact, I don't think there's anything between them apart from the malt build. But this is very juicy, very bright. More to what I think a lot of people may go with this one. Not sure. It's difficult. I think this is a good beer. I'm giving this beer a, pardon me, oh excuse me, a solid 8.5 out of 10, so 4.25 untapped. Back to this one, the more maltier version, the Pullyu, the red one. Yeah, more malt, bit more body, you know, with that malt. There's a little bit, I wouldn't say, I mean, there's no ABV detection on both of these beers. They're both kind of, this is probably a mid to lower, mid body, that sort of thing. This is a straight middle of a medium body. Just make sure I don't get the glasses sorted out. We've done that one. Getting confused here. Told you it's going to be a long review. I can tell by the colour. There is actually a difference in the colour. You can actually see it. So there's a bit of oniony garlicky I was getting then. yeah, that sort of vibe. This one I'm going to give, oh, it's very close, isn't it? I'll give this a straight 8 out of 10. So for me, they're both very good. One's a 8 out of 10 and one's an 8.5 out of 10. So the one that won was the, for me, Pushmi. For me. But that's just me. And yeah, both very good though. I mean, there's very, very little between them. So yeah, over to Untapped, we see. So the Pushmi has had 927 total check-ins. This one, 927 check-ins. He's had 174 in the last 30 days, so it's tailing off a little bit. It's had 841 actual ratings, and it's coming in at 4.13. So, the Pullyu, or whatever you want to call it, the red one, let's have a look, get on the page. This has had a lot more total check-ins. It's had 1,002 total check-ins. It's had 153 in the last 30 days, so more people have had the other one than this one. It's had all the 8s, or the 888 total ratings on this one then, and it's coming in at 4.15. So the Untapped scores says this is the winner. It's got a bit more malt, I'd say, build in the beer. But I actually prefer, not that it's against, nothing against the malt, you know, nothing against the malt, but I actually prefer this. It's got more of a softer kind of mouthfeel, the Pushmi. That's my 8.5 out of 10. The other one's an 8. So if you've had these beers before, side by side, let me know what you think. It's probably a 20-minute review, sorry about that, but it is 2 beers of a decent high quality side by side, brewed exactly the same, but I think there's something going on with the malt on the Pullyu. So yeah, let me know if I've had them before. Check out my Neon Raptor playlist. There's a few starting to build there. They seem to be a little bit more accessible down this part of Kent than they have been since they've been going. So it's probably to do with Generation Craft. They were here August last year in Deal. So, but yeah, but really both impressive beers. Subtle differences, but yeah. Let me know if I've had them down below, and I'll see you on the next reviews. Cheers.